Waking up early is so awesome, unless you have nothing to do. Hey there, welcome back to Amy TV. You know, around here we talk a lot about optimizing time, waking up early, all that super fun stuff for you to go after the life that you want. One example in particular is a video I made earlier this year called How to Wake Up at 5 a.m. even if you don't feel like it. You want to stay awake at 5 a.m. and actually do something? Then don't fight the thing you need. And that's probably coffee. If it's not coffee, bless you. This whole conversation is inspired by finding the time to be able to do anything you want to do. But who actually wants to wake up early? Like, most of the time, it's not coming from a gut instinct. Like, oh, I just think I'll wake up at 5 a.m. every day. That sounds amazing. We don't think like that. I don't think like that. I struggle with how many people ask me if I just have these perfect 5 a.m. mornings every day, even on weekends. I'm like, girl, no, I am sleeping in on the weekends, thank you. But if I'm trying to be productive in my mostly everyday life, I love waking up early. It's such a sense of accomplishment. I know that my brain is at its best at that time. But it doesn't mean I'm perfect at it. It doesn't mean that when that alarm goes off, and yes, I definitely use an alarm, that I pop out of bed at 5 a.m. smiling, ready to take on the world. That Amy does not exist. In fact, waking up at 5 a.m. hasn't been the easiest thing for me in actually the last few months, or waking up early, let's say. It's like, doesn't have to be a specific time if 5 a.m. is way too ungodly for you, but that's fine. So yeah, even I have moments where I'm like, why in the world would I wake up early today? Like, I genuinely don't have the drive or ambition to do it. I've been working on that quite a bit, and I wanted to share some ideas with you that have worked for me in order to get back on track with my early morning routine. If you're not an early riser and it's because you think it's ridiculous, or you've been trying and it's just not working, it probably has a lot to do with the fact that you don't have a purpose defined for you by waking up early and making the most for that time. Interestingly enough, you're catching me on a perfect week of 5 a.m., not just 5 a.m., but 4 a.m. in some cases, because the purpose in the morning has been very real. So I'm excited to share what I've been doing to make that happen. So that's what I'm really excited to talk about today. Before we get started, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. I make new videos every Sunday and Wednesday, and I'd love to see you back for the next one. My first big idea for your 5 a.m. wake up routine is to drink and or jump into lots of water. For some people, it's and. I personally don't want to shower first thing in the morning, but if that is what gets you going, then do it. But my version of that, as soon as I wake up, is drinking a lot of water. I have a minimum of 16 ounces of water, usually with lemon, as long as I have it with me. And that is that natural jolt to the system that's like, hey girl, wake up. You can't go back to sleep. Let's get the internal organs going, including your brain. Clearly, if you've felt refreshed after a glass of water or a shower or just rinsing your face off, whatever the case is, you know that this works. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. But if you need something to really get your body to agree with the fact that your feet and legs are considering continuing to stay upright out of bed at such an early hour, then do everything that is in your favor. Water, just drinking water, works well enough for me. My second idea is to write. Now, I know that a lot of people don't necessarily enjoy this, and I'm not even a natural writer. As much as I'm like, ooh, I wish I was like a blogger, like an everyday blogger. It sounds so sexy to me. I don't know, and maybe a blogger would think I wish I could make a video more often or something like that. We all kind of want what we don't necessarily do. But what I like about writing is it gives me an opportunity to at least have a conversation with myself and get whatever is top of mind out of my head. For the 11th time, I'm going to mention my favorite book, and that is The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, who talks about morning pages, which is the concept of sitting down first thing, doesn't matter what time, but sitting down first thing and just writing anything that comes out of your brain for 3 pages straight. There is no better time to do this than right after you wake up, because you get a lot of other things in your way if you wait. Let's say if you check your phone, which I do not recommend at all in this list of things I'm going to tell you today, or if you happen to listen to someone talking, or if you read something, You're really not coming up with your own ideas out of your head for this, and I think that's why it pays off, is if they are your ideas. So even if you find yourself talking about something that's not necessarily super important on these pages, it doesn't matter. It's just what's on your mind. And you might find, maybe not day one, maybe not page one, but you're going to get to a point where you do end up having a breakthrough, and maybe an idea you've been thinking about but haven't gone in depth on is finally sort of coming through your brain as something that you can pursue and start working on in all of real life, instead of just like keeping it up here. If we keep everything up here and it never comes out, we never make it real. So make it real first by just simply writing it down. My third idea is to move your body, and that is the workout, of course. I actually have gone to the trainer almost every day this week because I wanted to get into a routine of doing a serious workout for at least 4 of the 5 work days that I had. And that worked out really nicely. I had to work a commute into that, so that's what I didn't necessarily like about it. I didn't go to my own home gym, but I definitely wanted to try something completely different so that I would motivate myself in a new way. And attaching that to the early morning was helpful for me to kind of get back on my game. Most people will have a hard time choosing an ambitious new fitness goal with an ambitious wake-up goal. So I don't necessarily always recommend pairing the two at the same time, but I'd already kind of been waking up early in the last few weeks, earlier and earlier and earlier, trying to get myself back to my normal time. And so it was a little bit easier for me. But the big thing here is just moving your body, right? Like if you just start to sweat some calories, but it doesn't have to be something so significant. It can just be moving your body. You could take a walk if you really want to at 5 a.m. I wouldn't, but that's up to you. You could just go do it on the treadmill or something like that, but just get the body moving, because first of all, you get it out of the way. That's personally my favorite part about working out in the morning. Nobody wants to work out in the afternoon or the evening. Your body certainly doesn't. Your body's just as tired as your brain. So yes, definitely try to get this out of the way, and it will make you feel so much more successful first thing in the morning. I mean, who doesn't feel good after their workout that they did that? And imagine doing that also during your morning routine when you're trying to make the most out of every day. That's amazing, because that hour or half hour that you would have done it during your normal day that wasn't including an early morning routine now cuts into that valuable time that could have been spent with others or doing other things. My fourth idea is to meditate. Now, this is not always going to be for you, or maybe you have your own version of what meditation could mean to you. And I will admit that this is still something I'm working very hard on to fully appreciate and to fully get into a ritual with. It does help me some mornings to look forward to the fact that, hey, I'm going to sit here and just be serene. And that sounds like a great way to start my day. Other times it's like, I don't really want a quiet moment right now. I'm really excited to go do this other thing, so I'm gonna go do that other thing. So I personally think if having this moment of silence in the morning is really important to you, then definitely include it in your early morning routine. But you should also be thinking about things that get you excited so that you're actually motivated on a daily basis to get out of the bed early. Like if you're just going to get out of bed to do things that people have been trying to tell you to do but you aren't necessarily on board with yet, then who knows? But clearly that clarity of mind, just that practice and getting into the swing of things, I know if I've done it 3, 4, 5 days in a row, I see the value more than if I'm going through like a meditation dry spell and I'm like, I don't really need quiet time right now. So think about that. What does it mean to you? Is it important to you? And how can you include that in your morning routine when it is the quietest, ideally, for you to actually be able to accomplish great meditation? My fifth idea is for you to think about your idea. Brainstorm around something new or something different that you've been pondering. Now, this might come to light during morning pages, during your writing practice if you decide to do that, but let's just say that's not for you. Maybe you just want to focus on something that you've been thinking about, that you have been excited about, that you see other people doing and it gets you excited, but you haven't done anything about it yet. Can you make time to get out of bed, drink your water, do whatever you're going to do, and then say it's time to work on my project? And by work on it, simply brainstorm. Simply make a list of the things that you think you would need to do in order to be able to go after it. Think about the things that you haven't done yet if you've already started this kind of a project. Kind of like the morning pages and the meditation, this time of day is perfect for keeping it to yourself and allowing you to just think about an idea that you want to work on without letting outside sources interrupt that. So spend some time in the morning when you are at your best in your own mind to think about that idea that maybe you haven't moved far enough on yet. My sixth idea is to read. And of course, this is a great idea. I personally don't prefer to read first thing. Like I said, I want my own ideas before I want someone else's, but other people's ideas are a great idea. This video is just full of ideas. Ideas. I can say this word 80 million times. The bottom line is, let's say maybe we're not in a great mood. At least we got it out of our heads and on paper. But then we can pick up a book and read somebody else's mantras or stories, and that could potentially motivate us even greater into the day. So there's that balance, right? You can decide what's right for you. Maybe you need to start with somebody else's words before you dig into your own. But reading can definitely accomplish that. One thing I'll do if I'm like, I don't feel like sitting on the couch and reading a book, that doesn't feel like where I'm at right now, I just have like a daily calendar of quotes that motivate me. And I love reading the quote of the day because to me, I can start thinking like, does this resonate with me? What does it mean to me? And I can just start having an internal dialogue about it that will help me move forward into the day a lot better. Because ideally, I'm learning something from someone's great quote that teaches me how to have a better day, be a better person, go after the life I want. So reading doesn't have to be this big philosophical commitment. It can be your speed. My seventh idea is to savor that first cup of coffee. You know how we just kind of grab the first cup of coffee because we need it desperately? I'm on an I love you relationship basis with coffee right now, not I need you. But we tend to underappreciate it. So what if you just had a few moments in the morning where you got to sit down with your coffee and to enjoy those first couple of sips? Or if it's tea for you, or if it's hot lemon water, whatever the case may be, what could you savor? What could you spend 5 minutes savoring in the morning? Dessert at 5 o'clock in the morning? Hey, do you, boo. My eighth idea is to dig into something simple that you never seem to make time for. I have so many of these. Okay, so I have like a little folder in my phone called self-love, and it includes some things that I want to make time for, but I don't always do it. One is the Shine app. It's such a great little check-in app that motivates you every day and lets you, you're basically texting a computer, but you're having a really mindful and grateful conversation. So I love it. Absolutely love it. You probably have seen it on my Instagram if you follow me there. Also, I have an app in here called Elevate, and this is an app that my husband told me about, a really, really great like brain challenge app. So it's kind of like games, but you're doing simple math or like organizing words or reading something to make sure that you understand it. Super nerdy, but very cool for like making sure your head is like working properly. And I also have the 5-minute journal in here because who doesn't love to 5-minute journal? But I have to be able to remind myself to make time for it. I don't like notifications, so I don't let the apps notify me, but I will write them down as things I like to do in my morning routine that I can actually make time for because I am in complete control. No one is bugging me in the morning. And another good example is like, are you using an app like Duolingo to learn a foreign language? You could make 5, 10, 15 minutes of time in the morning to just go through your foreign language practice. I always tell myself I'm going to do that like before I go to sleep, and it never happens. So I've been trying to reprioritize that in the mornings too. Kind of fun to be like speaking a different language first thing in the morning, not gonna lie. My ninth idea is meal planning. Now I kind of say this generally, and I don't think it's the greatest idea first thing in the morning. It's probably better for like a whole week on a Sunday night. However, if you didn't have the luxury of getting around to it, maybe you want to make sure you don't have bad snacking moments or Uber Eats moments that you really are not hoping for throughout your day, and you want to plan your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This is something that you could do first thing in the morning. I at least like to write on my refrigerator whiteboard, this is what I have, this is what we're making for dinner because this is what we have. So I'll look and I'll be like, okay, I have salmon, and I have sweet potatoes, and I have Brussels sprouts. Cool, we're having the same thing we had for dinner last night. Great, and I'll write it down because then when I get done with work or come home from work, I see that and I'm like, oh, cool, I already have a game plan. I'm gonna make that. Prep your salad for lunch, prep your snacks for work. You know, what are you gonna have first thing in the morning? Are you gonna make your smoothie now? Is it too early to have it and you wanna have it in a couple of hours? Stick it in the freezer. Like, just maybe going through what that's going to be. I personally like to do it on a weekly basis, but worst case scenario, if you couldn't get to it and that's a little bit too ambitious for you, just do it first thing in the morning. And my 10th idea for what you can do at your 5 a.m. wake up call is to make your connections list for the day. Now, what this is a list of people that you just, let's say you're savoring that cup of coffee, you're sitting down, you're thinking to yourself, who have I not spoken to in a while? Who do I wish I could talk to? Who do I wish knew I existed? Make a list of 5 people that it would be great if you touched base with them today. What I like about this is instead of just hopping on Twitter and then getting lost in that ecosystem too early in the morning, or checking your email to see if there's someone you're supposed to be connecting to there, you're making a list according to what your mind desires of who you want to reach out to. And having those moments where you just drop a text to somebody you haven't talked to in a while, or you start thinking about an email you're going to send somebody that you admire and you want to reach out to because you've always wanted to. It's just a different way of thinking in the morning, and it definitely gets you excited because you think, it'd be really great if I could hear back from that person today or tomorrow, but it starts with me starting the conversation. So I challenge you to think about, who do you want to talk to today, instead of who is social media going to dictate that I speak to today. Those are my 10 ideas for waking up in the morning and actually having something great to do with that time. Hopefully those were useful for you. Maybe there's a couple in there that you haven't tried yet. I'd love to hear your ideas. You know I love new ideas. I am all about it. I want to know what you do, what has worked for you, what gets you excited to get out of bed earlier than you typically would so that you can make more out of your day. Share that in the comments below. That is all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Make sure you subscribe for good vibes and remember to continue to go after the life that you want. Cheers.